Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And sorry that I didn't post this episode last night. I had some technical problems. But today I'm going to be giving you part 51 of What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune because I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was trained to be a mercenary after this. And over on Anime King 2, I'm going to be posting the new episode of What If Naruto had the Sharingan and the Byakugan mix. That was supposed to be out yesterday, but because of technical problem I couldn't post it. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto had 9 Keke Genkai. So stay in tune for all of the lovely what ifs coming your way today. And guys, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, what are you waiting for? If you enjoy the what ifs on both channels, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King and the Anime King 2 channel, guys. And thank you all for your help and your support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. So to do a bit of a recap, Kiba, Haku, Kimimaru, Teiwaya, and Kurasuke, they all face off against Kobayashi, Kiba's father, and they stand no chance. Kobayashi was about to kill Kiba when Haku sent out a signal for the Harashin. As Naruto felt it, he then vanished as he appeared, knocking Kobayashi away, as the both of them had a hectic battle, and in the end, Kobayashi retreated as he went to Orochimaru, wanting Orochimaru to give him the final stage of the curse mark, level 3. Kurasuke went back home to the stone village as she tells Oniki that Naruto isn't a bad person, as she's trying to convince him that the son of the Yellow Flash, what will they gain by killing him? It's not like they can hurt Minato, he's already dead. Back at Konoha, they are also getting some more information about the swords, as on the Uzu Island, the swords talk. It seems like they were possessed, as they choose Naruto as their new master, and something is coming. The water sword warned Naruto that something dangerous is coming, and Naruto has to find out soon. Itachi and Kisame are also coming back to Konoha, as Kisame was confused. They were going against the leader's order, but Itachi wanted them to come back for some reason. And Tatsumi wanted to deal with Kobayashi on her own. Seeing how strong Kobayashi is, Naruto ordered her to stand down as the Hokage, as she had to listen to his orders. So the last part we left off was when Kobayashi was in Orochimaru's lab. So you guys can switch across the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Kobayashi was standing in Orochimaru's lab with Orochimaru and Kabuto, as Orochimaru gave him the vial. Can't go through life without taking risks, said Kobayashi as he pulled it, as he knew that there was a high chance that he could die. As he drank it, Orochimaru and Kabuto watched him, as for a few minutes nothing happened. Kobayashi's body then started to shake as his eyes rolled over. He let out a dark scream as his body fell to the ground. Wow, I guess he didn't survive, Kabuto said, as Orochimaru narrowed his eyes. Psych, said Kobayashi as he got back to his feet. So how do you feel? Kabuto asked. Well, I don't feel any. Kobayashi then stopped before he could finish that, as his heart pumped, as he clutched his chest, as the seal on his arm started to change, as a purple aura was all around him, as a smile came on his face. How do you feel now? Asked Orochimaru. Terrific. I know who exactly to test this power on, Kobayashi said as he and Ayaka left the room, as he had one person in mind. I'm coming home, Tatsumi, Hana and Kiba, said Kobayashi with an evil grin. The next morning, Naruto was signing papers to keep himself busy. Last night was rather eventful. He had started to teach Yugito in Fuinjutsu so she could release the Nibi, and he figured that he should give Tatsumi some time to herself. He never wanted her to be sad, not at all. Soon, there was a knock on the door. "Come in," Naruto said, as Kurenai came in and bowed. "Naruto, Maid Terumi is here," said Kurenai, as Naruto sighed and got to his feet. "Alright then, send her in," said Naruto. Kurenai nodded as she left the room, as Naruto continued to write on some papers, as the door opened again as he looked up, as he instantly blushed. As Naruto looked at Mei, behind her was Kojuro and Ayo, as Ayo narrowed his eyes at Naruto. "This is Hokage of Konoha? Ridiculous," he said in his thoughts, as Kojuro gulped. "Wow, he must be strong. He's just about my age," Kojuro thought, "for someone like him to become a Hokage." As Mei smiled and lightly bowed, "He's just as cuter in person. I could just eat him up," she thought. "It's nice to be in the presence of Konoha Hokage." "Thank you for seeing me, Hokage," said Mei, as she said it in a sultry voice, making the pen in her hand twitch as he gulped as he stood up. "I was really quite surprised to learn that the Mizukage wanted to see me. Even more surprised to know that she was this pretty," Naruto complimented, making me eye went wide for a second as she visibly blushed. As Ayo and Kojuro watched the interaction between the two of them, as they then looked at each other and sighed. "So, what can I do for you today?" Naruto asked. "Well, would you mind giving me a tour of your village?" Hokage Mei asked, as Naruto chuckled and nodded. "Sure, but you can call me Naruto, Mizukage." "I don't care for the formalities," Naruto told her, as she nodded. "Very well then you must call me Mei. Now then, Ayo, Kojuro, please get settled." Naruto created a shadow clone as he left with Mei. With Naruto and Mei, the two of them hit the streets as they walk around, as Naruto took her to all the sites that someone would visit if they came to Konoha. He showed her the great food places, the best hotels, the gambling joints, and also the hot springs. And to end it off, Naruto took her to the top of the Hokage faces, more especially the four Hokages. "What a nice view this place has," said Mei with a smile, as Naruto frowned a bit, seeing that he wished that Tatsumi could be here to see the view with him. "What's wrong?" she said after seeing the look on his face. As Naruto turned to her, "Just got into a small fight with my girlfriend," Naruto said, as Mei smile turned into a frown hearing the word girlfriend. "So you have a girlfriend?" she asked. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. "Well, more than one girlfriend," Naruto said. "You see, I am under the CRA." As her frown vanished and a smile came back on her face. "So what's the problem?" she asked. Naruto rubbed the back of his head as he went on to tell her the story about Tatsumi and him and Kobayashi. As Naruto finished, "And that is why she's pissed off at me," Naruto said, as Mei placed a hand on her hips. "I suppose the life of a couple isn't easy. While I do believe that you made the right choice, you don't think that. You seem like a strong young man, well mature for his age. But I have an idea to help you out," said Mei, as she whispered the idea to Naruto. With Tatsumi, she walked through the village with a frown on her face. She was in a bad mood, as she was angry at Naruto at the moment, and he called her to the Hokage's office by sending one of his envoys instead of coming himself, as she had no choice as she walked up the flight of stairs. As she arrived at the door and knocked. "Come in," said Naruto, as Tatsumi opened the door as she saw Naruto doing paperwork. He looked up as he saw a bit of anger on Tatsumi's face, but he wrote it off. Seeing that Naruto was ignoring her for paperwork, she narrowed her eyes and drew a tick mark. He called her here just to waste her time? "Excuse me, Hokage, but what do you want with me?" Tatsumi asked. Naruto then finished his paperwork. As he got up, he walked over to the window and opened it, as he allowed the cool breeze to come into the office. "It's a nice day, isn't it?" he asked her with a smile, as Tatsumi raised the eyebrow. She placed a hand on her hip and sighed. I guess. So are you going to tell me what you want or can I leave? She asked rather rudely, but Naruto ignored it for the time being. He then waved his hand as all the envoys left the room. As he walked up to Tatsumi, his eyes closed. Do you think you can beat me? Naruto asked. As Tatsumi raised her eyebrow at that question. Is that a trick question? She asked. Naruto simply shrugged his shoulders. It is what you think it is. Do you think you can beat me? He asked. As Tatsumi chuckled. Don't get ahead of yourself. I can beat you, she said. Naruto pulled out a timer as he set it at 30 minutes. As he pointed at the door. Out there is Kobayashi Inuzaka. You have 30 minutes to get past me, and if you do, I will apologize for everything that I said last night, and I'll let you do what you want. So, it's simply enough. Get past me. Alright, she said, as she rushed towards the door, but Naruto easily stopped her and fling her back. She growled as she charged again, but she couldn't pass him. As the time flied past quickly, and the 30 minutes were up as the timer rang. As Naruto stopped it, as Tatsumi was now panting. I am glad, said Naruto. And why is that? Why are you happy, Hokage? She asked. Naruto merely scratched his cheek. I am happy because you didn't want to get out so badly that you would use a ferocious attack on me. You didn't want to hurt me, did you? Even if it meant for you to get Kobayashi, right? Naruto asked, as Tatsumi looked at the ground. No, I didn't. That is not the Inuzaka way, and I didn't want to hurt you, Tatsumi said, as Naruto smiled and helped her to her feet. Then Tatsumi, if you don't want to hurt me, then do not go after him. I know that he will show up here someday. Tatsumi, you always have my back when I do things. Let me have yours for once. I am not going anywhere, Naruto said, as Tatsumi frowned, turned into a small smile. Since when did you become a smooth talker? She asked, as Naruto closed his eyes. As he spoke, the same time I found out how sexy you was, he said, as she smiled at that. I am sorry. I let my pride as an Inuzaka and as a mother hinder my thoughts, she said, as Naruto waved it off. Tatsumi, don't worry, he said, as he went around and sat down on his chair. He will come here, and we will take him down together. It will be a good way to show him the power of the Uzumaki Namikaze Inuzaka clan along with his wife, Naruto said, as Tatsumi thought about the possibility of being married to Naruto. As Naruto looked out the window as he smiled, as Mei was watching the whole thing. Alright, time to go and test that gambling hall now, and then I will talk to that cutie about the treaty between Konoha and the Mist, she said, as she headed off. Hours later, Naruto stretched himself awake on his chair as Tatsumi was lying on top of him. He chuckled, seeing her sleeping on him like it was natural, as their little makeup session would have been heard by the entire Konoha village if Naruto hadn't put up the privacy seal, and he also sent away all the envoys. As Naruto was happy that she was smiling again, as she slowly opened her eyes as she saw Naruto smiling down at her. As she smiled and gave him a kiss on the cheek. You really are aggressive, aren't you? She asked, as she moved back and Naruto sat up from his chair. Only with you, Naruto said. So what are you going to do? He asked. She put a finger to her chin as she moved it and started buttoning her shirt. Well, for right now, I'll wait for that bastard to arrive, if you're right. I will also go ahead and check on Kiba, like how I have the time, she said. See you later, Naruto, she said, as Naruto smiled. Not Hokage this time, he asked, as Tatsumi rubbed the back of her head. It was just because I was angry at you, she said, as she opened the door and left. Naruto sighed as he quickly got dressed and placed his Hokage robe on the chair. He decided to get up and leave too, since he had to go and find Mei, who knows where she is at the moment. As Naruto was about to visit the gambling hall, since she seemed to like that, on the road people waved at him. Greetings, Hokage, as he also heard some other comments. To think someone so young is our Hokage, He must be good. Are you kidding, said another man. He is the same brat that played all those tricks on us. As Naruto heard all of these comments, he just rolled his eyes and continued to walk. He could have done something about them, but he allowed them to say what they want, because it was their right to do so. As Naruto finally arrived at the gambling station, as he entered to see Mei with a bucket of money, as everyone had a shocked look on their face to how much she was winning. She was so lucky. It's too easy, she said as she pulled the lever, and it was another jackpot as all the money rolled out. Keep doing that and Konoha is going to be in debt because of you, said Naruto, as Mei smiled when she saw him as she put her money in a few scrolls. It's not my attention, Naruto. I just like to get some money when I can, she said, as the both of them headed back to the streets. Once they were on the streets, Mei tapped Naruto on the shoulder. So I take it my little plan worked well? She asked, as Naruto closed his eyes with a chuckle. It was awesome. I am really grateful, Naruto said. So what is the reward that you want? Naruto asked, as she told him that she wanted a reward for helping him. As she then put a finger to her chin, as she thought it over for a few seconds, she then gave Naruto a smile. Take me on a late night walk over the village. It must be nice to see this place at nighttime, she said as Naruto raised an eyebrow at her. He thought it over and he didn't have any plans at this point, so it was okay with him. With Sasuke. Sasuke looked around the village as he sighed. He had to get stronger. Ever since he learned about Itachi, he felt his desire for power dwindling. But what did he need? Was it revenge? He didn't have that anymore. Damn it, what is it with me? What am I missing, he wondered, as he then felt a tap on his shoulder. He then turned, as it was Genma, his old sensei. You, Sasuke said, as Genma rubbed the back of his head with a small sigh. Never thought that I would see you in such a mess, Sasuke, Genma said, as Sasuke just frowned. Go ahead and laugh. It doesn't matter anymore. I lost my reason to get stronger. I want to hate Itachi. I want to hate this village. But no, I just don't know anymore. Why does Naruto, that dope, the dead last, get all the power? Why does he get to be Hokage? What does he have that I don't? Sasuke asked as Genma rolled his eyes. He would have scolded Sasuke on respecting the Hokage, but he would do that later. As he sighed, for now, he was going to help him a bit. Sasuke, follow me, Genma said as he walked off. As Sasuke followed behind him, the two walked through the village as Genma waved at his fellow shinobis with a smile as Sasuke watched the interaction. The smile of people's faces, the meaning of your friends, knowing that you're safe, said Genma. Sasuke, what do you call this all? He asked. I don't know, said Sasuke, as Genma chuckled with a slight nod. Well, you're young, so you wouldn't know yet, but this is what is called peace. This is what every nation strives for. It's something that we all want to protect with our life. Once you find something to protect, that is when you get strong. Sasuke, Naruto's always been looked down on. He had no one at a young age, but then he found friends. He gets angry when they're hurt. He loves having them around, and he aids them when they need him. Same for all of us. Naruto realized his dream at an early age. He dreamed to be Hokage to protect everyone in the village. I really admire him for that, said Genma, as Sasuke looked at the ground. Something he wants to protect, said Sasuke, as he then looked up at Genma. Train me, he said to Genma. Please train me, Genma sensei, harder than any training that you ever gave me before. I want to become stronger as well, he said. Genma sighed. Well, I was going to offer to train you anyways, but it's still gonna be a lot of work since I think about it, said Genma. Back with Naruto. Naruto was at his house. He was the only one there in the living room. As he closed his eyes, as he pictured a kunai. As he focused his chakra, after a second or two, a kunai appeared in his hand. As Naruto had clones everywhere, clones working on his Mokiton release, clones working on the bone release, clone working on the Fuin Jutsu. Even though he can create a kunai, it was very difficult to create anything else. He then heard the door opening as he turned to see Kasumi, Fu, and Yugito enter the room. "See, I told you that Ichiraku was awesome," said Kasumi as her tail waggled around. "Yeah, you were right," said Yugito, as that ramen was the best ramen she ever had in her entire life. Soon, all of them noticed that Naruto was sitting there, as Kasumi quickly rushed over to Naruto and sat in his lap and wrapped her arms around his neck. "Greetings, Naruto. How have you been?" said Kasumi. But before Naruto could say anything, she quickly kissed him, making Fu and Yugito became a bit jealous. "That little sneak," said Fu, as Yugito folded her arms. Come to think of it, she hasn't really kissed Naruto yet, and that made her a bit edgy. As Kasumi then let go of the kiss, as Naruto spoke. "It's good to see you, Kasumi. I have been well. How have you girls been?" Naruto asked, as Fu smiled. "Oh, doing girl stuff, although I can use a good mission right now," Fu said, as Naruto tapped his cheek. "You know, you aren't really considered a Konoha shinobi yet," Naruto told her, as Fu turned pale. What?" she asked, as Naruto smiled, as he went into his pouch and pulled out a Konoha headband. "Well, you are only staying here due to me taking responsibility over you with my clan status. You weren't really instated as a Konoha shinobi, so what do you say?" Fu rushed over as she grabbed the headband and wrapped it around her waist as she gave him a kiss on the cheek. "Now I am one, right?" she asked, as Naruto nodded. He then turned to Yugito. "How about you?" he asked, as Yugito scratched her cheek. "Well, no rush for now," as Yugito nodded that her fiancé was not rushing her into any decision. "Oh yeah," said Kasumi. "I forgot, I have to go meet up with Guy and Lee," she said, as Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Why?" he asked. "Well, they're gonna be teaching me some new taijutsu moves." "Bye now," she said as she rushed off before any of them could say anything. Naruto then went to the kitchen to get some water, as someone quickly entered the room. The Nanabi and the Kyuubi, as they were in a rush. "Where is Naruto?" the Kyuubi asked, as Fu pointed to the kitchen as the Kyuubi ran over there. As the Nanabi turned to Yugito. "Yugito, I am sorry, but we really need the Nibi out here," the Nanabi said, as Yugito didn't understand. "What do they need me for?" the Nibi thought to herself, as Yugito responded. "Huh? Why?" she asked, while Fu raised the eyebrow as well. "What's going on?" "I'll tell you later, but can you please release the Nibi?" "Well, the thing is, I don't know how to," said Yugito. "I just started the Fuin Jutsu training a day ago." As the Nanabi cursed, as the Kyuubi brought Naruto to the living room. "Naruto, we need you to do it," said the Kyuubi. "Kyuubi, what's going on?" Naruto asked, as the Kyuubi sighed. "Naruto, I promise I'll tell you, but please trust me and release the Nibi." "Well, if it's really that important," said Yugito, as she lifted up her shirt showing her stomach, as Naruto placed his hand on her stomach as he started to rub it a bit, making her blush, as his hand started to glow white, as he then added pressure, making her wince a bit. As a white light came around Yugito, Naruto quickly made a blood clone and made her direct all the white light into the clone, as there was a poof, as everyone then waited the smoke clear, as they all stared at a beautiful woman with blue ocean air running down her shoulders. She wore a dark kimono just like the Kyuubi and Nanabi, and a sandal to complete the look. "Well, I wanted to celebrate my getting out, but I take it this is an emergency," the Nibi said, as the Kyuubi and the Nanabi nodded. "Well, we'll be back soon," said the Kyuubi, as the Kyuubi and the Nanabi grabbed onto the Nibi as they all headed off. "What the hell just happened?" Naruto said, A little minutes later, the three Bijus arrive at the cryptanalysis department. So, what the hell is going on? Asked the Nibi. He's coming, said the Kyubi. Who's coming? The Nibi said. Sato Soranzo. He's on Earth, said the Nadabi. As the Nibi raised her eyebrow. Who's Sato Soranzo? Just think really hard on that, said the Nadabi. As the Nibi closed her eyes, she racked her brain as the name sounded familiar, but it then hit her. No way, that's impossible. We took care of him with the Sage of Six Paths. What are you talking about? The Nibi said. How can he be back? Well, he's back somehow, and it won't be long before we have to deal with him, the Kyubi said. With Sato Soranzo, the mysterious man went through the forest of the Sound Village. As he looked around, he growled in frustration as he grabbed his sword and slashed a tree, cutting it directly in half. Where are they? He shouted. I checked all the previous locations and they are nowhere to be found. He then felt six signatures around him. As he was swarmed by bandits, he simply closed his eyes. Hey, give us everything you have before we kill you. Sato then opened one of his eyes as all of them started to flinch of the amount of ki and killing intent that was coming off of him. You mortals and your threats. You have nothing to base it on. Why should I be scared of all of you weak mortals? It doesn't matter how strong you are. We're strong too, as one of them took out a knife. And we outnumber you. As he rushed at Sato. Are you the leader? Sato asked. Well, yes, I run this little... But the man couldn't get the finish. As Sato placed his sword back in his sheath, as none of them saw when he take it out. The man's head then fell to the ground. As blood was spraying everywhere, he was dead. Now listen here, you're all going to do what I say, or I'm going to kill you, said Sato. You bastard, one of them said, as they rushed at Sato. None of you get it, Sato said, as he closed his eyes again. The man then brought down his sword on Sato. Sato grabbed it. What the hell? The man said as he was forcing down his sword. A purple aura came off Sato as it went on the sword and touched the man's hand. The man's body started to disintegrate until there was nothing left but bones. So, anyone else want to try their hand at a god? Sato asked. All of them gulped as they moved away from him. As Sato looked at them, now you will all follow my orders from now on. Betray me and it will be your heads. Now then, tell me what any of you know about swords, he said, as one of them moved forward. We know nothing, Sato, he said, as Sato closed his eyes. Useless mortals. Alright, tell me where the most powerful place is, Sato asked. Well, there is a place that is said to have a god and an angel as its protectors. Really? Said Sato. And where is this place? It's the Hidden Rain. Alright then, we are going there. But why, Sato? The man said, stuttering. Well, if someone is claiming to be a god, I want to see that for myself. As Sato walked away as the bandits followed behind him to the Hidden Rain. Back in Konoha, it was night time. Alright, Yugito, we will end your lesson here, Naruto said, as Yugito fell to the floor. As she sighed, who knew it was so complicated? Don't worry, you will get there, said Naruto. Alright, thanks for the training, she said. So I'll see you. As she waved goodbye as Naruto walked off. As Fu looked up from her book. Is it over already? She asked. Where have you been? Said Yugito. Well, this book, I just got so caught up into it. Well, it's over. And you didn't even tell Naruto about the crystal, said Yugito. Well, I'll tell him later on, said Fu. With Naruto, he arrived at the hotel as he saw Mei standing there. Did I take too long? Naruto asked. As Mei waved it off with a smile. No, you didn't. You're right on time, Blondie, she said. As Naruto chuckled, as the both of them start to walk the streets. So tell me, how do you like the Hokage position so far? Mei asked. Well, it's rather nice sometimes, but rather taxing the next. Well, it's hard to explain, Naruto said. As Mei started to laugh. Well, I see. I just got this position recently as well. We beginners have to stick together. That's right, it feels good to know that I'm not the only one going through this, Naruto told her, as Mei nodded. The both of them went to a forest training ground as they both sat on a log and looked up at the bright moon. As Mei noticed Naruto's eyes even more exquisite than before as she admired that. As she then kissed his cheek out of nowhere. What was that for? He asked as he touched his cheek. As she shrugged her shoulders. Who knows? Maybe I just like being that way with some people. But it helped that they are really cute, Mei said, as Naruto closed his eyes with a smile. Would your village be happy with you doing this with another cage? Naruto asked. She then placed her hand on Naruto's chin as she turned his gaze to her. Then maybe we can work out a treaty between our villages. Well, I don't really mind, said Naruto. But for the other part, you will have to take it up with the alpha female. As Mei eyebrow twitched a bit, knowing that he was talking about Tatsumi. Well, you don't have to worry about that, she said. It was then they saw a large fireball going up in the sky as someone was a distance away in the training field. As the both of them went over there, hey Sasuke, said Naruto. As Sasuke saw Naruto and a girl that he didn't know. Well, a woman that he didn't know. What do you want, loser? Sasuke asked rudely as Mei noticed. But Naruto told her that it was just Sasuke's way of greeting people, so she shrugged it off. Just wondering what you were doing all the way out here, Naruto asked as Sasuke closed his eyes. I am just going over some methods of training, which I should get back to immediately. Mei then smiled as she turned to Naruto. Hey Naruto, why don't we have a spar? I always want to see just how powerful you really are, if you don't mind, she said. Sure, Naruto said. As the both of them walked off to a more vacant field, as Sasuke followed behind them, he wanted to see this battle. Naruto cracked his knuckle as Mei put her hand on her side as Sasuke was the supposed proctor. Why do I have to do this? Sasuke asked. Just do it, Sasuke, said Naruto. As Sasuke sighed. Alright, a match between the Hokage Naruto and the Mizukage. Mei, begin, Sasuke yelled as the both of them rushed at each other. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune because I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was trained to be a mercenary. And also, what if Naruto on Anime King 2 had the Sharingan and the Byakugan mix. And I'm gonna be posting a new episode of What If Naruto had 9 Keke Genkai. So if you're new guys, stay in tune for those, and also click that red subscribe button if you enjoy the videos. And thank you all for your help and your support. And without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys in a little bit. Peace.